I've been muted. Oh no. Well, I'll do that really quickly over again. So, welcome to the Digital Riser series featuring all things on digital and small business advancement. I am your host, Aja Allen, Principal Strategist of Digital Line Consulting. Today's episode features our very special guest, Ms. Shama Keskar, co-founder and new found CTO of Nicoletics, with a conversation all around app development, artificial intelligence, and of course, small business advancement. As always, we want to hear from you, so make sure you click the link in the bio so that you can comment below and that we can see it and answer it. The Digital Riser series aims to be the cornerstone of digital thought leadership and is visually presented to reach and represent leading men and women who navigate digital strategy. Our DRS Small Business Edition goes a step further to spotlight small business owners leading innovation and disruption. Now, more about our special guest. Ms. Keskar has led senior-level test and software engineering initiatives for more than 16 years at Fortune 100 companies, including Google, LinkedIn, and Amazon, just to name a few. She is an expert-level software engineer who has demonstrated success in directing the implementation of a wide variety of complex solutions to business and technical issues. She's an expert in managing multiple large-scale business and technology initiatives, software engineering, and system infrastructures, as well as building and leading top-performing teams. Now, again, welcome, Shama.
Hi everyone. Thank you.
Hi there. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to have you.
Thank you for having me. Nice to, be here.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, welcome. I know you had a bit of a scare earlier, but you're here and healthy and doing great. So super excited to have you here.
Yes.
And we're learning you have some news. Congratulations. You want to tell us a little bit about that news?
Yeah, sure. So basically, I have been working with some of my ex-colleagues from Google on, like disrupting networking industry, and we, continue there. While I was working there, one of the, co-founder from Nicoletics reached out to me. And after digging through, diving deep into Nicoletics, I felt this is really a good opportunity. Nicoletics is all about, out of home advertising. And it's a billion-dollar industry. Advertising is one of like the industries that has huge room to grow.
Yeah.
And after like working with them for a couple of months, I decided to move forward. And best way to kind of like make a difference is by being like partner. And me and co-founder Joda, we both have really good chemistry. I worked with them for like couple of months, and then joined them recently as co-founder and CTO. And our next key milestone is like making it more scalable, and then taking it to like digital advertising. So that's what the Nicoletics is.
Wow. Wow. And today, of all days, you get to share it with us. That's awesome.
Yes.
Well, I'm super excited for you. So I'd love to learn more about your time at Google and Amazon, all these amazing companies, and a little bit more about your background in that space.
Sure. So I started with Google in test engineering, which is like quality assurance field, long back in 2004. I worked on Google Desktop Search and moved to Google Ads, where I worked on Google Ads, owning the software development lifecycle, where I was responsible for engineering productivity, like building automation frameworks, and building some of the productivity tools to help developers get product out with highest quality. After working for Google, I went to LinkedIn, and at Google, I did work on Android as my 20% project. Google has this unique like feature, like kind of perk, where every engineer has ability to work with like on developers, get product out with highest quality. Sorry. Yeah. So I worked there, and then after that, I went to LinkedIn. LinkedIn, I was owning the LinkedIn mobile. From like again, I joined as a senior quality assurance manager there. And LinkedIn was revamping its mobile app, and that's where my first introduction to mobile application was. And we revamped the entire LinkedIn's mobile app, as well as launched it on different platforms. And we even achieve continuous deployment for LinkedIn mobile application, like iOS as well as Android. And then after LinkedIn, since my husband was in Seattle, I kind of, like decided to move to Seattle. And after
Mhm.
settling down here, I started working for Apollo. Then I worked with Visa, and my most recent experience was with Amazon. I work on Amazon Alexa as well as, launching Amazon's, first grocery store. At Amazon Alexa,
Oh,
sorry, go ahead.
no, I'm just amazed.
Yeah, and at Amazon I worked on Alexa mobile application as well, and that application was was built with JavaScript and moving to React Native. I was part of like quality assurance. Yeah, so that's my journey. Throughout this journey, I had experience with some of my friends. I had come up with a startup company back in 2016, Spring Seattle, and then later on it was merged with Think Space. That was like my prior startup experience, and I always had this like flair for entrepreneurship, and then doing something on my own. And that's where I started working with some of my ex colleagues from Google, and Nicoletics happened to me, and here that's my journey so far.
Wow. I'm like sitting here in awe. That's all the things that I use that are like, scattered around my house. I feel like you had some type of, you had your hand in it in some way, shape, or fashion. That's amazing. Um, a lot of people I talk to, they are, they have an entrepreneur spirit, just like you and I, and they have this fascination with app development, right? But they have, no idea what that even means, what that entails, all the nuances that are behind it. All they know is that, everybody and their mom has an app for something, and hey, I want to build an app too, right? So I wanted to talk to you a bit about app development and what does that even look like today? What does that mean for small business owners? Should they even go that route, or what do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you look at it, mobile application is nowadays everybody has smartphone, and it's like it's if you have an application, mobile application, it comes very handy. You can reach out, like more organic, traffic than like a website. So definitely, small business owners or even medium business owner or any business owner should think about having a mobile application to reach more audience, different demographics, different geographics, because it's that's how that's where the industry is moving towards. And mobile application also enables you to integrate with some of the like most recent technologies like artificial intelligence or even some of the IoT devices. So that's definitely a way to like kind of start your own like company. First step is always kind of once you create this software application running on like mobile devices, first step is always reaching out to like getting beta customers like your family and friends to get you like the feedback. And then kind of you can go out there and reach out more customers. So I would say yes.
Okay, okay, that's really reassuring. I think, at least when I hear application development, I'm instantly intimidated. I have no idea where to start. Even as someone in project management, it's like, okay, there are all these different parts, and I don't want it to fail, right? So, I can see where all the questions kind of come in for different folks. So now that we're talking about that space, one of the things that you are currently involved in is the funding aspect of it, because that's a huge part, right, for Nicolytics. So you plan to raise 1.5 million, is that right?
Correct. So Nicoletics has so far, raised 1.2 million. And we do have, plan to raise 1.5 million because as we have, launched the minimal viable product out there, which is, like our, initial MVP for Nicoletics. We have, we have been successful capturing some of, small and medium advertisers. And now there are like kind of like the large advertisers who are reaching out to us. So definitely we need to think about scalability. We want to get on like cloud, like a platform like AWS. That's what we want to like leverage, and start building this like next version of application, the more intuitive UI experience, as well as more like dive deep into like the analytics and dashboard. This is where we do see that yes, good like opportunities there. And with that, definitely, we are looking at, raising additional, funding.
Gotcha. Awesome. Well, I'm rooting for y'all. That's quite a sum of money. So, but it is necessary for such a big effort. So, in one more aspect of app development, I'd like to touch on the scope of how it's kind of become nowadays. And you touched on mobile applications earlier, but for small business owners, folks who they're probably still within the day to day of their normal operations in their business. They're trying to scale. What might you suggest that looks like, or what do you suggest are the best practices or best steps to kind of achieve that scalability?
Yeah, from a scalability perspective, obviously you want to, like first, get the MVP out there. And once you, like have the MVP, and once you, like improve or increase your, like customer base, then you can, invest more into, making application more intuitive, making UX, experience simplified, integrating with some of either like third party like APIs, or depending on if you are building in healthcare and if you want to achieve interoperability, then definitely you need to integrate with different EHR systems. So you need to like dive into those like interfaces and work with those EHR systems to integrate with them. If you're looking to build something in more retail, where you can build your own like payment integration system, or if you want to use like any of PayPal, Stripe or Affirm or something, then definitely you want to integrate with those APIs. So I would say from a scalability, a couple of things matters the most. Is one is optimizing and simplifying UX experience, making it like more customer centric. Coming from Amazon and Google and LinkedIn, where all these companies are extremely like customer obsessed. They think literally from customer perspective. So thinking that angle is very critical. Second, I would say if there are like cross platform APIs, or if you are building your own APIs, you want to think about having that backend infrastructure on cloud. Because with cloud, whether it's GCP, whether it's AWS, you get a lot of inbuilt features for kind of not free, but you get like a lot of features. And those features could help you reduce your investment into system infrastructure, building system infrastructure, or building that like the analytics dashboard. Because these systems provide you basic like features, whether it's AWS with cloud auth, or it's like backend infrastructure that gives you EC2 and different instances. So you don't spend too much time on building or reinventing something that's already available to you. Third,
Right.
optimization is very critical, because performance aspect comes into picture. If your application like mobile app takes more than x amount of time to even install, customer like me, I would not even wait on installing. I might just remove that.
Right.
It should be like quickly, you should be able to install it quickly. The application should be like high performant and resilient. So you want to look into like the optimization. So there are these three things are extremely kind of necessary as you think about scalability. And one more aspect of scalability would be like operational burden. I have like experienced this throughout my career, that hey, whenever you have built something and let it out there, and if it is product has a lot of issues, then your engineer kind of end up fixing those issues, and you're unable to kind of move forward with additional new features. So so as you start thinking about scalability, think about operational burden that's going to kind of either kill your engineers morally, or it's going to be hard to retain some of the best engineers on the team. So think about operational metrics early on, for by having like metrics in the place, alarms in the place, building some of the like integration tests, some of like the unit tests, which will help you kind of assure the quality of the application. So those are four aspects that I will look into.
Excellent. Yeah, I think so many people they might get caught up in either the build, but forget about the testing aspect, or they forget about the customer aspect of it. Ultimately, if no one wants to use the tool or the final product, then it's pointless, right? Yeah. So yeah, all great points. Excellent. So For small business owners, because the Digital Riser series is dedicated to helping and spotlighting small business owners. For those in that space, what would you, or what do you wish, or what would you say small business owners should understand about the way digital, or the way app development, or software engineering, or anything in that digital and tech space? What would you have small business owners understand about the way things are today?
Yeah, so one thing I would say is whenever we are thinking about mobile application development, think about whether you want to go a native route or hybrid route. And that's very critical because with native, there could be some sort of kind of like you might need to have specialized engineers on your team to build. But with hybrid you could like you have the opportunity, it's a little bit more flexible. So native is like using objective c framework or android framework, and hybrid is more like, hey, you're using some sort of like javascript elements with like this hybrid programming frameworks, like whether it's the iOS framework or android framework. And with hybrid route you can integrate with like the new IoT devices or Alexa or those like Google Assistant, Google Home Assistant, all of those devices. So definitely that's first thing that small business owners should look at. And I believe nowadays being like digitization has become so much like it's a household name. So definitely small business owners are thinking from that perspective. So I would say that from a small business like perspective, digital marketing is another space, another practice that they should kind of like kind of take that into consideration to reach the potential and current customers online. And that's very critical. It includes different marketing efforts, like, hey, you can use social media, you can like use email campaigns, you can use Google search, like search optimization, you can use some of other search engine whatever marketing blogs, then having those online brochures, surveys. So these are different, and videos, these are different ways that digital marketing can like be boosted. And in today's connected world where all these where like powered by technology and internet, customers have higher expectations. And mobile has led customers to kind of always being on, always being connected. So you're always connected with family either through social media, which is a mobile application. So there are a couple of aspects I would say like the small business owner should think about. One is budget and time, because as a small is business like owner, the your budget is smaller, then your times is shorter, because there are like competitors out there, there are customers who are looking for coming up with a lot of features. They always want more. So in shorter period of time you want to kind of transform and be out there. So definitely simplifying digital transformation to focus most like important areas where you want to integrate with digital technology. That's another key. So budget and time matters like a lot. Then people and culture, where like basically large enterprise, they can hire these like more people to get something built. But for small businesses, we don't have that much flexibility to kind of hire like too many people. So
Right, right.
yeah, so in that case, kind of like to drive like digital transformation, you might want to synergize that like passion within like your organization. And then think about like how you can get like maybe have consultants, or you could get like one or two engineers who have really good kind of mix of like good like skill set. So definitely that like people culture, that becomes another aspect. And then I would say like consultant in the sense leveraging like vendor system. That is like like it's a key strategic decision that you want to like make to help small business to transform. So those aspects I would definitely like focus on. Another aspect as a small business owner is kind of investing in the right technology. Nowadays like there are multiple ways that you can build application. There is Angular, there is React Native. Now Vue.js has become very popular. So selecting and identifying the right technology that you want to build, and with like minimal changes down the line. So having up leveling CX from the beginning, selecting the right technology, then having that access to kind of consumers to make more optimization. That's key. And investing in like the right like backend infrastructure or cloud platform will be key. So those are different aspect from small business perspective that I will definitely talk about.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You mentioned some really great areas, and I'm excited that you mentioned digital transformation. Yay! As well as digital marketing. And we have a few viewers just to give another understanding of what we're talking about. Ms. Keskar here is teaching us about application development, specifically for small business owners. So if you are interested in building an application or moving in that space, I highly recommend that you use this time to ask questions in the comment section. We are certainly here to help you with any questions you might have. She's also just been named CTO of Nicoletics, and currently in the process of raising 1.5 million for that organization. So just a wealth of information here. I certainly want you all to take advantage, especially if you are a small business owner, or if you're in the tech space, or if you are moving into the entrepreneurial space. This is certainly a space for you to ask questions. I wanted to hit on you mentioning digital marketing. So a huge aspect, especially if you have a software as a service platform, right? A lot of organizations or people think that, we're going to build this app, and they actually work with a client who did this. We're going to build this huge app, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to launch it, and then we'll start our digital marketing. And that's a no-no, right? That's a huge mistake. No, as you're building the application, you want to be building up that, online collateral as well. So I definitely wanted to make sure I said that. That should be a part of your strategy, especially your digital strategy. And we have a question here. One of our digital risers, hi, Ms. Robinson. Jackie Robinson asks, how has smartphones and responsive websites changed the digitalization of mobile apps?
Yeah, that's a good question. So basically, I would say that hey, having like responsive, basically that being responsive when you are thinking about mobile application and building it like agnostic of platform, definitely opens huge market. You can absolutely integrate with like some of the like the home the speakers like Google Home Assistant or Alexa or Siri, and that helps you kind of get in front of like more customers, more organic traffic. So definitely I would say that's like that's the huge digital transformation. Another aspect to it is now that nowadays like these IoT devices are coming up, and with those another opportunity that you have like the huge market space open up with new IoT devices, where your mobile application, which is very like responsive, can be easily kind of like smoothly integrated. And then with machine learning, you can do different model optimization and experimentation with like this whole digital marketing, where hey, I want to reach certain demographic, I want to reach like certain geographic. That's exactly something that we do as part of Nicoletics also, where we select and identify, hey, this is like the advertiser tells us this is the demographic and this is the geographic location that we want to reach out. And that's where we tweak our like experience and make sure that hey, we focus more on that specific area. And one of the reason we could do is because our application, the application that we have built, is very like simplified and can be easily integrated with any of like the new technology that kind of like comes into picture. So I would say these are some of the aspects that that's how digital transformation is helping us with mobile application and responsiveness.
Excellent, excellent. That's awesome. Ms. Robinson, I hope that answered or touched on your question. So we are moving closer to our inspirational part of our Digital Riser series, where we love to ask our fellow digital risers for a Riser Roundup. And for those of you who aren't familiar, a Riser Roundup is opportunity for people who are in the entrepreneurial space, have been in the space for a while to share a inspirational message or something that they have learned along the way that they wish someone would have told them, when they were younger. So, Ms. Keskar, do you have a Riser Roundup for us?
Sure. So I think, one of my favorite quote is kind of, world is full of, good apples and bad apples.
Mm-hmm.
Job, money, anything can be, like taken away, but your talent can't be taken away. So always, believe in yourself. And this, I myself have experienced it throughout my, career, where I have come across with, good apples as well as bad apples. And there are people who have tried to, like take you, like down. But I always believe in, myself. I believe, like the talent that I have. And I'm always, like thankful for that. But at the same time, believing in myself helped me, like achieve what, I have achieved, today. So my only, advice to people is, doesn't matter, always believe in yourself and your talent, and keep yourself upgraded with, latest technologies, latest, market trends. Always keep an eye on those two things, so you will never miss, like on, any right opportunity that comes, your way.
I love it. I love it. That's exactly what people need to understand about this journey. There's always going to be what we like to call, in street language, haters. And there's always going to be people who are supportive. So as long as you stay in the supportive circle, you'll be fine. And you can do it, right? Keep rising.
Yeah.
That's the Invisalign motto. So keep going, keep rising. And thank you, Ms. Robinson. She said, keep up the great work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Um, hello. Hi, Miss Denise. We have some new viewers on, and we are near the end of our show today. But just to give you a understanding of what's happening, we have Miss Keskar here with us. She is a senior level engineer, and she has worked for Google, Amazon, and a whole great group of some of the largest tech companies that we're all aware of. She is a wealth of knowledge, and she's also just become the CTO of Nicoletics. And so she's here today to help small business owners understand application development, artificial intelligence, just the whole gamut of tech. So if you have any questions for her, please feel free to ask now. And Miss Keskar, where can people find you if they want to contact you or reach out or even learn more about Nicoletics?
I would say LinkedIn is the right space. I have worked in that company. I'm a huge, believer in LinkedIn. So definitely you can always, like connect me, message me via LinkedIn. And I will, definitely try to respond as much as I can.
Love it, love it. Yes, I am a huge LinkedIn advocate myself. All righty. Well, this has been awesome. And I just want to thank you a million times over for being here with us. I know, people don't know, but we originally were may have had to cancel, but I'm happy you're here and you made it. And it's been a great conversation.
Yeah. No, I really apologize for that. But just so everybody know, I have recently, came back from Canada. And then, like the travel, in this, COVID-19 situation has really hit on me. I have, like a little bit of cold and cough, nothing, like serious. Hopefully, my COVID test was, negative. So all good. But yeah, because of that, I was, thinking of canceling this event. But now I'm really happy to be here.
Yes. Well, listen, we're going to say it's not COVID and just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not even going to say that is a thing. So we're going to say that everything's going to be fine, and move forward from even thinking that. So for those of you who are here, you likely already are following Digiline on Facebook. If not, you can follow us on Facebook. You can also follow us on LinkedIn, and we're also on Instagram at Digiline_Risers. We're also on YouTube, where you can find all of our Digital Riser series videos, all of our special guests. If you didn't get a chance to watch from the beginning, you can watch it here on Facebook, or you can also watch it on our YouTube channel. So definitely like us and subscribe, follow along. We have some great special guests scheduled for the rest of through to the summer on digital, on tech, small businesses that are growing throughout the country. Some really great people are going to come and join us, and you definitely don't want to miss out. Also, if you want to join me on Clubhouse for Digital Friday, I am there every other Friday, talking about all things new in digital and some tech sprinkled in. We sometimes have our special guests, some of our fellow digital risers join us to moderate, but we'd love to hear from you there as well. So you can follow me on Clubhouse, and you can certainly follow along for this line on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. And that's everything. So thank you so much, Shama. Shama, you said it wrong. Thank you for being here, and that concludes our Digital Riser series.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Thanks a lot. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.